Today's goal is to talk about the myth of programmers. The first one I wanted to talk about in terms of programmers were all programmers are introverted. So, who's a programmer right now? Anyone in my chat, programmers? So raise your hand if you took the MBTI test, you got an I on your... I guess we would have to start with the definition of introverted, because people misunderstand the introverted definition as timid or shy or I guess not talkative. Well, actually introverted is more like, let's say you go out after work. If you enjoy being home alone and if you gain energy, if you need a lot of time on your own, that is considered introverted. But if you're more like, okay, I finished work, but I'm ready to like party or like go out and talk to new people, that's more extroverted. Do you think you picked your career because you're an introvert person, like you're an introvert, or I guess did you become kind of introverted after you became a programmer? Because I guess we have to figure out if maybe the job of being a programmer fits more for introverted person, or if, you know, the job just makes you become an introverted person. I don't think the job has anything to do with being introverted. Really? Because when I heard this myth, I kind of thought that it made sense, because like when you are a programmer, you have to spend a lot of time on your own, first of all, to program. And this job somewhat requires a lot of focusing for a long time. So then I was thinking it kind of fits the definition of the introverted as a programmer, because I feel like these people, instead of being in meetings all day, they would rather enjoy being on your computer programming, honestly. But I feel like some other jobs, like maybe business related or salesmen, those people, instead of being at their computer all day, they would rather be in meetings or meeting their clients, right? That's why I thought that this myth is actually somewhat true, because the job of programmers, wouldn't they want to be in front of the computers? Probably these people pick this job field because they feel confident, or they feel like they probably enjoy talking to people. Sure, focusing doesn't mean being / working alone, but I was thinking that if you're focusing, it's more like you're not really in a group of people trying to code together. It's more like you're alone to code a sector in the program. You also got to talk to other people to get the job done. I work with a lot of programmers. Almost all of them are introverted. True. Yeah. I mean, you have to work with a product team and designers. You won't make money programming something no one wants. Yeah. I can see how being introverted helps you as a programmer in certain aspects. It helps to code with someone else sometimes. They could point out mistakes and stuff. So when you're coding with someone else, you don't really sit side by side with them, do you? Like, you could go up to someone and ask questions, but don't you normally program by yourself? So it's rare, right? You don't really sit side by side. Like, you go into the room together and sit side by side and be like, hi, let's do this together, right? I think programmers spend most of their energy on his code, so they save energy on human relationships. It looks introverted? Oh, that's true too. It doesn't, I can't draw the picture of someone who's an extroverted being a programmer, more like, because I feel like they should be talking nonstop. For me, that's why streaming is my, you know, I really like streaming because I have the capability to talk nonstop. I'm a hardcore E. Mia's like super I. So when we're sitting together after work to eat like dinner, even if I talk for 4 or 5 hours streaming, I still end up bringing up conversations to talk to Mia. And then I think to myself, I am such a crazy person. Do you also think the same of mathematicians and engineers and as introverted? For some engineers, maybe, but I guess anyone who's doing a lot of, I know you guys are gonna say like programmers also deal with clients, but isn't your main job programming instead of meeting clients? Vice versa, sales is more focusing on meeting clients, right? So imagine someone who sits next to you, they keep wanting to call you over to talk about what they're scripting. Oh, is that kind of how extroverted programmers are, where they sit next to you and they're like, hey, so let's see what I'm scripting and blah blah blah. Yeah, I had introvertedness described as introverts bursting energy on social interactions while extroverts gain energy from it. True. Yeah, maybe we should talk about it more like that. So who gains energy after social interactions? That's why I kind of thought that if you're doing any client meeting, you know, you're obviously doing a lot of client jobs, but don't you feel much better when you're programming on your own? Like, I gain energy from talking to you guys. Well, not while during this, but I gain energy when I talk to my friends. Not saying you guys aren't my friends, but you guys are more like my workers. You think it's no one, but actually there are people who gain energy when you talk to people. It's also important for human interaction though, so if you consider that gaining energy, then that can be the case. I think gaining energy from friends might be slightly different from being an extrovert. Yeah, so when you say you gain energy, like, where do you gain energy though? Like, because friend is also different, and then you guys are saying client's also different, so is it just, then I think to myself, maybe introverted are those who can't really talk to random strangers, or because you don't want to spend your energy. So maybe being introverted or extroverted doesn't really matter. Yeah, honestly, I feel the same way with Koa. Like, you guys might disagree, but I really enjoyed doing a lot of presentations. For instance, I'm like, oh, if I had to do a presentation, I was like, oh my god, so exciting. Yeah, true. Of course, it's not 100% introverted and 100% extroverted. Yeah, I just like being the drama queen. I think Twitch also attracts introverts. Maybe because it's an easier way to talk is you guys just chat instead of actually like talking verbally. And I don't know your faces, but you guys know my face too. So yeah, then that's another case. Is social interaction over internet different from social interaction over like talking to people, random like physical people? So we must also take into account that it's way harder to make friends post-college than when you're growing up to that point. A lot of streamers seem to be introverts. Oh, I was thinking vice versa. So some introverts tend to ruminate and replay conversations in their head. Really? They think they should have said how they made others feel. It keeps taking energy forever. Oh, because you keep running that in your head. Ah. So then, do you guys agree with this myth saying programmers are introverted or that they're not? It's really hard to define someone as introverted because even if they say they're introverted, you could be like 56% introverted and 44% extroverted. And that doesn't really define you as an introverted person. But maybe they tend to lean more, programmers tend to lean more over the introverted side, but that doesn't mean that, you know, like they're not that extroverted either. So I don't agree because I definitely see some extroverted ones. It's like saying engineers are introverted. It's just funny how people, I guess it's, this myth came out because people don't know the exact definition of what introverted is, and that they think that programmers just, you know, sit at their desk not doing anything, like someone like me. Because I honestly didn't know that pair programming existed, or that you guys, you know, obviously do a lot of meetings with clients. And I just felt like you guys enjoy more, you know, doing programming at your desk than client talking. Because I actually like talking to my clients. So I guess maybe if you're a freelancing programmer, you might be extroverted. Maybe freelancing programmers lean more towards extroverted personalities. A lot of shows like Silicon Valley also portray most programmers as introverted. Oh yeah. This is why they need to redo a lot of films, because the first image that it comes to me as a programmer are those who wear the checkered and have like really thick glasses. And then like if girls come up to you and they're like, hi, then they're like, don't talk to me, and then they run away. So they really need to change that. I feel like they still do the same image of, you know, what programmers are. I still think the majority of programmers I've met tend to lean towards introversion. Oh, that could also be it. That's what I'm also thinking, is that, you know, obviously there are like very extroverted people for programmers, but some, like mostly, I also see that most of the people that I met, you know, I think they lose energy when they talk to random strangers. So they would lean more towards introverted people. Programming can be a lonely job for extended periods, so maybe it just attracts more introverted people to that job type. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So, but it's not like I'm saying every single human being are extroverted or introverted. Oh, that would be an interesting thing to talk about, is that maybe it's the maybe you see a lot of bugs from programming, so you're just used to being modest or being humble. Oh, there's an article called Marker's Schedule, and explains why programmers avoid interaction. Oh my god. So anyways, in conclusion, I think that programmers are mostly introverted. So this myth is semi-busted, because we're not saying everyone's introverted, but the job itself can be a lonely job for extended periods of time. So then it may just attract more introverted people to the job type. That's all for the myth today. It's somewhat busted. Kind of busted, but not really. But me saying this doesn't mean that every single human being who's a programmers are introverted, and that there are extroverted people out there, but we see that mostly they are introverted.